Good morning everyone. I wanted to show you some of the new bus stops here on the EDSA busway because for a long time people have been saying there needs to be more bus stops. So this one is Taft. This will be officially inaugurated on Thursday. And then you'll also see ones like this on the corner of Tramo, which is obviously still under construction, as well as places like this, the Ayala bus stop. So the busway is obviously a huge upgrade for commuters. It gives them a faster ride, a safer ride, a more organized and simpler to understand system. Of course, one of the things commuters have been asking for is, aside from footbridges, they also have lifts or elevators so that they don't have to climb the stairs. And actually you'll see a lot of jaywalkers. If it's a senior citizen, PWD, someone with mobility issues, the enforcers would actually help them cross at ground level. And while we're on the footbridge, we can take a quick look at one of the new street lights installed by the MMDA, solar powered, so no need for electricity wired up to it. Hopefully these are good quality and the batteries and panels will last, because that's one of the problems with some LGU street lights. They bought the cheapest LED lights they could find and they didn't last that long. And what you'll notice with the footbridges now is they have roofs to protect commuters from rain, from sun. Although the side effect is that people do use this as a sleeping area. You have vendors that come up here. So there are pros and cons to this kind of approach. Over here you'll see one of the buses loading, unloading at the sidewalk. The problem with that, of course, is it obstructs traffic, especially when they make illegal terminals. Plus, because they're at the sidewalk, they just load, unload wherever they want. Compared to when they're locked inside the bus lane, they can only unload at the correct stations. I guess they had to work around the palm trees here. This is how it looks where you load, unload. Because this is a raised platform, you'll actually have to go down some steps. Again, I guess that could potentially be a challenge for some PWDs. On the northbound, you'll see there are buses unloading here. The barriers have not been extended this far yet. See, that's not ideal, having a motorcycle past the bus on the inside while it's unloading. That's why it would really be better if there was barriers to keep everyone else out of the bus lane. I just don't know if they can do it because of the U-turns and the left turns and everything like that. And you'll see there are signs saying that smoking is strictly prohibited. Hopefully that will be enforced even for the vendors that like to hang around the bus stops. There are signs that say no jaywalking, but you'll see a lot of people running across instead of taking the footbridge. Thankfully no one's going too fast, so the pedestrians aren't getting hit. Of course, if you do hit any of these people and you're driving a car, motorcycle, jeep, you'll be the one that's arrested for reckless imprudence. Even if they're jaywalking, you'll still be the one that's arrested. There are signs for the buses that remind them the speed limit is 50 kph. Not always obeyed, and we have seen accidents in the past because of that. The good news is that LTFRB have installed GPS trackers in the buses and they can see how fast they're moving. You see that bus there trying to get to the sidewalk. That's why people are getting angry. That's one of the problems that this bus stop will eventually solve. If you look at this bus here, he actually has a door on the side, meaning passengers can go straight on from the steps instead of having to go around the bus. That's actually the plan, to upgrade most buses or all buses to have doors on both sides. In this area, it doesn't matter too much because the lane is only wide enough for one bus. So even if you walk around the bus, there's no chance you're going to get hit by another passing vehicle. But still, it's much nicer if you can just go on the correct side. And there's actually multiple loading, unloading zones. So during rush hour, you can line up the buses and they can all load, unload. Compared to right now, where they unload early and then the passengers end up walking between the buses and it's kind of scary. So this is actually a better approach. I guess they had a lot more space in this area because it's not affected by the MRT. And of course the Libreng Sakai program is still ongoing, which means none of these commuters have to pay for their ride. There are pros and cons to the free ride approach, but for now it has been extended. Hopefully the MMDA will install one of their recycling containers here also, because I have seen a lot of bottles that have been dumped on the ground. It's not that hard just to take it home with you instead of leaving it here for someone else to clean up. This is one of the big complaints on EDSA also. People were taking pedicabs and other items on the inside lane during rush hour morning traffic. There are big signs saying they're not allowed to be here. See, this bus is actually loading using its side door. It's a lot more convenient for commuters. And just imagine how many commuters these buses are carrying. And honestly, I'm not sure if this is actually meant to be open yet, because they're still doing some finishing touches and it is roped off in some areas. But of course, if commuters see this and it looks 99% ready, they'll just use it anyway. I might delay my video until Thursday, just so that I don't preempt the inauguration. See those people there? The barriers aren't going to stop them. They're still going to jaywalk and take their chances. But if you hit them, you already know what's going to happen. It's more dangerous when they do it in the morning, late at night, because it's so dark you can't see them. At the end of the bus stop, there's actually a guy starting a fire. Commuters are not going to want to smell like burned wood. MMDA regularly remove people from the center island and further along from Taft, here on Roxas Blvd. You'll see the next bus stop. You'll see some buses are still unloading outside of the bus lane. I guess again, because this one isn't officially open until Thursday. You can't say Roxas Blvd over there. That's the official bus stop. It's due to be inaugurated on Thursday. Isn't that much nicer, having the buses on the inside? So organized. Compared to the other side, which is not being used yet. The buses are in every lane, and no doubt they're sometimes fighting with each other, with other vehicles on the road, because they don't always have the best driving attitude, I must say. There are good drivers, there are bad drivers, it varies. And when you come down from the footbridge, you'll have a sign, monumental on the left, PTEX on the right. And there are signs here reminding commuters about the processes on the busway. And talking about barriers, what the MMDA do is they place a plastic barrier before the concrete. And they also had the solar powered warning light there. Although honestly, if you look at the statistics, if you actually attend the crashes, a lot of the drivers are drunk or they fell asleep. One of the things I've noticed is that even the buses that have a door on the side, a lot of them are still using the front door to load, unload. Maybe it's just out of habit. It's weird because they do have the side door. Same with this bus, they have a door on the side, but they're unloading at the front. Maybe there's a reason, maybe there's something that I'm missing here. I guess they need to train passengers to go to the side. If you come down from the footbridge and walk all the way until the end, there's actually a little pedestrian U-turn here. You walk around and now you're on the other side. I'm not sure if there's also a way to do it on the other end. I'll check that in a moment. Although we're not going to see buses loading on this side because I can see it's not open yet. Now I'm walking back the other way. I can see that it is possible to access the footbridge again. So actually it's very convenient. It's laid out pretty well. The only thing that would be a bonus is if these posts here were actually on the center island and then the roof extended over, because it's quite narrow, especially on the other side when there's commuters going both directions. It's a little bit narrow. But overall, really, the busway is a big thumbs up. And although it's a little bit off topic, this right here is one of the electric modernized Jeeps. I know you're going to say it doesn't look like a jeepney, but it functions the same. And you'll see it does have a license plate. It is registered with LTO. This is actually one of the most advanced electric vehicles locally.